Okay, it is Steve Cole tuning day, and a lot of you might be asking, why are you taking it to Steve Cole to have him tune it if you just rebuilt the engine and put the same engine back in? Well, there's the little trick. We did a few things to the engine before we put it back in, so it needs to be retuned. So stay tuned. All right, we are all strapped down, ready to go. Okay, we are unloaded and on the dyno. Steve has got it all hooked up already. And he went to take a break, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. So let's see what this thing is going to be able to do. And we'll check it out right here. Well, needless to say, we had some trouble on the dyno, and throughout this video we're going to walk step by step everything that we had trouble with and what we did to fix it. So I hope you learn as much as I did through this process. Adjust the fuel pressure up. Well, here's the big surprise on why Steve had to turn up the fuel pressure. We had a cam sensor code. Luckily, Steve knew exactly what it was, and I'm going to share that information with you in case you do the same thing I did. You'll know in the future. So what I did, the big surprise right here, is I changed the block. I went from an LS1 to an LS2. So I took my rotating assembly out of my LS1 and I put it in the LS2. And when you go to an LS2, the cam sensor is in a different position. It's moved to the front of the engine. Well, the original wire harness was not long enough to come to the front of the engine for the cam sensor, so I had to buy an extension. Well, when you buy these extensions, they tell you it's an LS1 to LS2 conversion extension. But what they don't tell you is the two wires in here are swapped. So I'll do another video on that and let you know exactly what two wires you have to swap in order to get it to run correctly.
That's a little more boost than we want.
Yeah.
We're up at, we're approaching 14 pounds.
And that's where this was set?
I don't know. You got it on SP1, right?
Well, it might have defaulted.
Well, is the default low or high?
That should be max. So I wonder if something's going on. Still too much.
this up to the line that's back here. I want to get rid of the boost control. Let's see what our boost is.
So do what now?
Take the source off back here and hook it up to here. No, you can't. What do you got? Well, no, you need a number 4 and number 4. You don't have the right fit.
We're doing something wrong with setting the boost.
I don't know what you have wrong, but we're gonna start by bypassing that and see if the boost is low. That's how we want to start.
Still no.
Still made a lot.
What the frick?
182 kVA. I mean, I'm still way down on timing. Like, if I put the timing we're supposed to be, that's probably 1,050. So it's making 181 kVA. Let me give you the math.
What the frick?
Obviously, you got the wrong.
So in the video, you hear me talking about that's way too high, that's way too much. Well, what we're having a problem with now is overboosting. And Steve is running the engine. We can't control the boost. It's just shooting up. He has to let off the power. And I'm really embarrassed to have to tell you this, but this is my fault, and I'm gonna walk you through what had happened. So originally, when Steve tuned this, we did not have a boost controller on it. We had 11-pound springs in the wastegates. And when we originally tuned it, and I didn't want that much power, so I took those 11-pound springs out and I put a boost controller in so I could set the boost through the controller. We couldn't figure out why it was overboosting. We couldn't control the boost, so Steve came back here, and you can see him, and we started troubleshooting, and he's telling me, hey, let's disconnect these, and we'll shoot some air in here and see if we can hear the wastegates opening, because if the wastegates aren't opening, you're going to be building a bunch of boost, right? So we found out that the right side here was opening, however the left wasn't, so we're thinking it was seized up. Well, come to find out, this is all my fault, and neither one of us can figure out how after I installed this, the car ran the way it did, as good as it did. But there's 2 holes here. One is for water cooling, and the other one is for the compressed air to control your boost. And what happened is I had this one plumbed into the cooling hole instead of the compressed air, so it would never open the wastegates. So, oops. Anyway, so we got that fixed. Everything was able to go from there, and we were able to set 4 boost settings at my request, and that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So I just turned the timing up like we're on race gas. And that's it.
Jesus.
I mean, it's so low boost, you'll be like, let me tell you what it means.
So basically I need to take the turbos off. Because I had it set exactly what you did, and that's supposed to just be the spring. And now it's working. And then you probably want to lower 3, because that's going to take us too much.
That's 9 pounds.
That was only 9 pounds? Holy shit.
That's 9. Their fuel ratio is right on the money. See?
Yeah.
My actual and my commanded. I mean, it's perfect. Feels like it's moving around. I just lost ignition. It just shut off.
The other problem we had, I have no idea, it could only happen to me, is the alternator failed on the dyno. So the car was shutting down and we had lost alternator power. So lucky for me, Steve had a jump box there and we were able to jump the batteries to get the tune done. I changed the alternator when I got it back home.